some have oomph, some have looks, some have tremendous talent, different personality. Everybody has got something very individual about her which makes her different, which separates her from the other people, which makes her into a star. So we have to find out what Waheeda ji had in her, which was something different, which was something very individual, which was her forte or which made her very individual. What is it? According to me, I mean with my little observation, but I have felt that the most vital important point about her was her sincerity. She is a very sincere person, even in personal life, and she is a very genuine person. And same thing she projected on the screen, her sincerity. Whether she was doing a serious film or any kind of film. So the sincerity was projected across, and that made her into a big star. Like they say that you cannot pretend to be what you are not. She was sincere and she projected that sincerity, and that was her best, or that was her forte, or that was her individual point. So I think she's a very, very sincere actress and a very sincere person. Sorry.
This is making sounds.
That's okay.
Okay. What was special, any special merit about her eyes, the way she speaks, her dialogue delivery? Is it very Urdu? What is special?
The special thing about her personality is that she looks a very plain, simple person. She looks approachable. She looks like a next door lady, next door neighbor. That was the thing which was very attractive about her, her plain, simple looks and her simplistic personality. And she is also a simple person. So she was not pretending to look simple, or she was not masquerading to look. I mean, she is simple and she looked, and even in personal life also she is very simple. So that has made her click actually.
Her eyes?
I mean, if you go to see, I mean, she has got a beautiful face. She is a very charming lady. She's a very charming person. And that niceness which she has got inside, since I know her very closely, so I'm in a position to say that she is a very, very nice person and a very genuine person. I mean, and because of that, perhaps she has not achieved what she would have achieved. She, like any other actresses or normal actresses or average actress, she is not very ambitious. She is very content with what she has had or what she got. She never strived for something, and she never made any plans, or she never grasped for something. I mean, she just got whatever came her way.
What set her apart from the other actresses?
Like I said it earlier, that her sincerity.
Okay. What do you feel about her role in Pyasa?
She was very good in Pyasa, and in fact, I will give her a lot of credit that during that time, during that era, people used to overact. Especially actresses used to do a lot of melodramatic acting and exaggerate their gestures. Performance used to be very loud, and that kind of a performance was highly appreciated. During that time, in that era, if one could be normal, natural, it was a very difficult thing. So in that picture also she was very normal and very natural. And it's a tragedy that she came a little earlier than she should have come, because this new wave film or whatever experimental film which needs natural acting and the kind of acting which is very near to your natural behavior, where you can relate your experiences and your observations, that time they were not there. So if she would have been now, she would have come, she would have done much better.
Can you remember any scene in Pyasa which you liked her in?
I think total performance was very good. I cannot pick up one individual scene, but her total performance was very, very good.
Do you remember that scene on the terrace where she wants to touch Guru Dutt and doesn't touch him. He's listening to a bhajan. Do you remember
Yes,
that?
very, very good. I think it was a very good scene.
Can you talk about it?
I can't exactly wow because I had seen it long time back, but the impact of the whole performance is still there. I mean, I can visualize it. I can see it sometimes. I mean, that is there. But I cannot now exactly remember what was the good points of that scene because I have seen it long back. In that particular song, वक्त ने क्या किया सितम हम रहे ना हम तुम रहे ना तुम. As you see that she is silent there in the film. But the most important thing about an actor or an actress is that she is able to convey something in her silences also. Very few actors, I have seen, and very few directors also for that matter, if you give them a silent scene, that you just take a walk of a hero and heroine and show that they are in a romantic mood, they are at a loss. And most of the actors also, if you just keep them silent for 5-6 minutes or say 200 or 300 feet, they would not know what to do with their eyes, they would not know what to do with their hands, and they would do all kind of frivolous actions, and they feel very uncomfortable. So they need certain kind of movements, gestures to convey certain thing. But to convey through your eyes, your posture, your face, it is very difficult, which she did very, very nicely in that particular song.
Okay. Suppose you had to write a script for her, what kind of a role would you give her?
I think something which should convey sincerity, like I said it, because her forte is that, and something where her looks and personality will play a major part. Yes, her teaming with Guru Dutt was a very, very important thing in her career, almost as important as Nargis with Raj Kapoor. And she did her best actually. In fact, it's an unfortunate thing that the association didn't last long. They could have done much more. But the 2 or 3 films they have done together, this marvelous, they have shown that it was a marvelous combination, and they were extraordinary films.
What about Chaudhary Ka Chand? Do you remember anything?
Chaudhary Ka Chand is, I would say that it's a film which is sort of a compromise that earlier films have failed, and Guru Dutt wanted to deviate through different kind of cinema, like Kagaz Ke Phool and all that. And once he failed into that area or that arena, he wanted to come back and make a commercial film, a very commercial film. Though it's a very interesting and nice commercial film, like after you can say Raj Kapoor after Mera Naam Joker wanted to had made Bobby. Similarly, Guru Dutt also wanted to play safe. So that is more of a commercial film, though it has got certain lovely moments because of course the man is visible there in that film also. But basically I wouldn't call it one of his best films. I mean, Pyasa, Kagaz Ke Phool, Sahib Bibi Ghulam were his best.
Do you think Guru Dutt and Waheeda were made for each other in terms of looks, mentality, outlook to life?
It is a matter of understanding communication. People can communicate with certain people. I mean, for that matter, even I have seen in my experience that I can communicate with certain people and I cannot communicate with certain people. And the rapport or the understanding is on a total natural level. Like you like a person or you don't like a person. So it happens. It is some kind of a chemistry which works, and you have no control over it. You cannot pretend to like a person. And it is a very, very natural feeling. It is totally vice versa. If I don't like you, you won't like me. It is like that. Probably in that case, that rapport, that communication and that mutual liking was there, which clicked. And it has got to be there between a director and a writer, between an actor and actresses. This is one important thing to create something great, to do something masterpiece which has got to be there. Without this particular communication, without this particular rapport, you cannot achieve that.
Okay, would you like to end with some personal anecdote about her as a family person?
Like it's a saying that you cannot hide anything from your doctor or from your neighbor. So I have been her neighbor for over 15 years, and I know her a lot, and I can say that in personal life she is a very rare combination, or a very peculiar, odd combination of a very, very modern, liberal, broad-minded lady and a very conservative orthodox woman. Like I give you this example, when she was getting married, and of course the marriage was out of community and taking place with somebody who has worked in film. So a lot of people came and started advising her against her relations, her friends, her colleagues and her contemporaries, and as you are very well aware of it, people are so fond of giving free advices. So over the years I had also graduated from a neighbor into a family member. So she came to me, and she had certain faith or trust in my advice, and she asked me, what do I do? These are the things I've been hearing and people are saying. I said, what do you want to do? She says, of course I want to marry. And she says, Salim Sahab, one thing is there. Everybody around me thinks that marriage is kind of a dead end. Once I get into it, I can't come out of it. But to me, it is not like that. I want to get married. Like, this is a very conservative, orthodox thought. I want to get married. But at the same time, if it doesn't click, if I'm not happy, I will opt out of it. And same thing goes with my husband. Now, this is something a very, very liberal and modern thought, that if I don't get along with him, and so vice versa, I can come out of it. So this is a very peculiar trait of her personality, which normally people don't have. Either people try to be broad-minded, pretend to be broad-minded, or they are not actually, but they are very confused. She is very, very clear about her priorities also. An average woman is very confused about her priorities, but as a woman, she is very clear. When she came into films, she started working. Her career was her priority. Second priority was her sisters, mother, nieces, nephews. She was looking after. And then she did for some time. After she got married, her priority was husband, children. And now when she works, sometimes even now, she knows that in this picture I am working for money. In this picture I am working for self-satisfaction or some creative satisfaction. In between whatever film she did in Madras, some indifferent kind of a film, she is very clear that money is the need and it's a practical problem, and I am doing these films for money. Like for example, she has done this film of Mahesh Bhatt. I mean, very obviously she cannot get the kind of money which she gets normally in a film. But she just did it because she probably felt like it, that creative urge to do this kind of a film. So her priorities are very clear as a person, which is very rare in a woman.